Hey, John.
Hey, Alex.
I find myself questioning a lot of things lately. Like, why do I keep looking towards Canis Major? Why do I keep thinking about Harry Potter's godfather and the winner of the satellite radio war? And then I'm like, why so serious? And then I'm like, you know what? Remember, like, before Google and you had to look things up online, you know, things that are of a dramatic nature. Mm-hmm. Like looking up old Australian actors, like Yahoo Serious. And John, sometimes I keep thinking to myself, I wish I could ask my phone, hey, who's in the room with us? You know? But why so serious?
What? That one I don't get.
Hey, Siri, who's in the room with us? Siri, us. It's like if it was written in script form.
Okay. All right.
John, you know what I hate?
The amount of time you spent on this.
That is the exact right answer. Anyway, we watched the second Batman movie that might be called The Dark Knight.
It is indeed called The Dark Knight.
Somehow, Gordon's accent has gotten worse.
I think this is your Gary Oldman as Jim Gordon is my Ewan McGregor in anything.
Yeah.
Like I honestly, because you had mentioned like, oh my God, it's really bad. And I was like, I don't hear, he doesn't sound like Chicagoan or anything. He sounds kind of like Tommy Carcetti from The Wire. He's the dude that like Littlefinger plays him.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, but he's an Irish actor, I believe. He's in Dark Knight Rises. He's the Aidan Gillen was Tommy Carcetti.
I need to play an example of this. Listen to him scream.
You'd have asked. I could have taken his passport. I told you to keep me in the loop.
All that was left in the vaults were marked bills. They knew we were coming. As soon as your office got involved...
My office! You're sitting down there with...
You didn't hear that? They knew we were coming. Like it's a straight. He just says that in an English accent.
So I guess.
Oh boy, yeah.
It didn't.
Like,
I didn't notice it during the movie.
It dropped twice in that one sentence. Wait, I think it happens again. Let's listen.
Scum like Wirtz and Ramirez, and you're talking... Oh yeah, Gordon. I almost had your rookie cold on a racketeering beat.
Don't try and cloud the fact that clearly Maroney's got people in your office, Dent.
Okay, yeah.
The
It
fact that
started out
it's
Cockney-ish or whatever.
That's right there. It sounds like me doing a Cockney accent, which I'm not saying it sounds directly Cockney, but boy, that ain't fucking American.
So it is. Well, it's an American doing a Cockney accent. Maybe Gordon was in an improv group.
I'm so distracted by his accent, and thankfully he doesn't talk a lot in the movie, so I don't have to really worry about it. Boy, I mean, what do you think about this movie? I don't know how to talk about this.
I still enjoyed it. Now, when it came out, I loved it. Like I saw it in the theater a whole bunch because we weren't in the glut of superhero stuff, and this was the first superhero movie I'd seen that felt like a decent movie. That wasn't just like it tried to be something more than it was. And I think looking back on it, or revisiting after all this time, I think it is still. It's a fun watch. It's a fun sort of, it's a matinee picture. But like, as far as like a best picture nominee, I don't know. But it was an enjoyable watch. I had a lot more problems with the politics of it this time around, but I think that's just where I'm at and where sort of the country is at versus where it was in 2008. But I still enjoyed it.
I was very much reinforced from my thoughts the first time seeing it is I hate the entire Two-Face arc, and I hated it more this time. I don't know that Aaron Eckhart is a bad actor, but he's terrible in this. And I shouldn't say it's not like he's terrible at this. It's just that's a nothing character. He's terrible, and it's a nothing character. I disliked him quite a bit in the film.
Yeah, see, I like him okay. I think I'm like to agree with you about the way the Two-Face thing is kind of handled for what they want it to be. Doesn't work that well. I know we talked about there being two movies tend to want to have superhero movies want to tend to have two villains for some reason, and I thought the way that they worked it into this was a little bit better in terms of him sort of becoming this monster that the Joker created, rather than the Joker like being like, hey, let's team up and get this guy like they did in Aquaman or whatever, where then you're wasting a whole bunch of time. Because I think the point they were trying to make at the end was already sort of made. Well, we can get there when we get there, I guess. But the way the movie ends is pretty unsatisfying.
Yeah, and here's, because we might skip it when it happens, but out of order, the you make your own luck thing is really stupid. Like, I get what they're saying, but like that means you're crooked. Mm-hmm. So he's a cheater.
Well, he's also like stooping his assistant DA person, Rachel Dawes.
Yeah.
And I don't know now. Granted, I'm going off of L.A. law ethics. I've never seen Ally McBeal. I don't know how the legal profession has changed.
You mean sexy female lawyer?
Sexy female lawyer. Yeah. So maybe things are different now. But it's trying to be this sort of dichotomy of this guy that acts like he's in control and has all these forces act upon him, where a guy that claims, the Joker's in his speech where he's like, I'm an agent of chaos. Do I look like a guy that has a plan? Is supposed to be not, but it's clearly that the Joker is lying constantly, so why would you believe anything he says? So I don't know that works out that well.
So let's talk about this opening thing, which was a giant thing in the zeitgeist of the time, the 13-minute opening.
Yes, I went to go see I Am Legend in IMAX.
I did as well.
Yeah,
that's what
just
I saw
because
this.
it had the opening.
And boy, does that hold up.
It's still
Yeah.
great. It's still just a fun heist thing, and yes, you can talk about all the intricacies that this plan would need in order to work and all this stuff, but for a comic book movie, it's fine and it's fun.
Because I was going to make a comment about like how the plan doesn't really work, but then I went, no, because I think the Gotham PD and Batman, lesser Batman, more Gotham PD, their plans need to make sense because they're the good guys. They're like the more grounded. I mean, not like Batman's grounded, but you get the idea. Like they kind of have to have an internal logic. Joker's heist plan, you can have a little bit of like,
right.
Meh.
Well, it's also I think these movies got described a lot as the more quote unquote realistic Batmans, and they're not. But they're true to like the way the comics read, under certain authors anyway. But like where it's serious, but it's still goofy enough, or like you still have to strain credulity in certain aspects of it, in order to just let stuff happen because it's the nature of this kind of movie.
Yeah.
And I was pretty willing to do that with this. I think that first heist thing lets you into that, lets you into the this is all flashy and kind of fun, but you're just, okay, yes, there's a school bus thing, and yeah, he manages to pull out just in time for the other school buses, whatever.
Yeah.
It was fun. So it just...
No, I enjoyed it greatly. And William Fichtner, the bank teller guy, or bank manager, whatever, one of those great that guy actors.
Yes.
And I had to look him up. That's why I know his name off the top of my head so readily. He is delightful. I love him in everything. And he puts in a great sleaze bag, his motivation makes no sense character. So anyway, he runs away with the money. We cut to a quick scene of introducing Batmanuel, Nestor Carbonell, as Mayor, and Jim Gordon as he waits by the bat signal, setting up the scenes. I just wanted to introduce those two because...
Oh, yeah. The goth mayor.
Yeah. I don't remember his name, but Mayor whatever.
Yeah, but he has so much eyeliner on in this movie.
He doesn't.
That's just the way his face looks.
That's why he's a magical man. If you see him in regular interviews, he just has natural, like, lower eyeliner. He's delicious. I have like such a man crush on Nestor Carbonell.
Oh,
and
he's a handsome fellow.
years.
But I just like the idea of Gotham City having a goth mayor.
Yeah.
Of just Mayor Robert Smith being up there, and
that would be rad.
Yeah.
I mean, Batman's kind of goth. He's got like
totally
eyelinery things.
Yeah, but I mean that's more just like slapped on there.
So we also see Gordon on the roof, who I'm blanking out. Who's the actor that plays his name?
That plays
Gordon.
Gary Oldman.
So Gary Oldman in a few years is going to play, from Harry Potter. He plays.
Yep. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, why so not serious?
Sirius Black.
Sorry.
I'm not going down this road.
Yeah, you are. You're already on it.
If it wasn't Harry Potter, I'd be right there with you.
God, don't be such a dementor, trying to take him back to Azkaban. Like, why so serious?
Kick your ass, Capane.
So here's the main question of the film. And this I've heard this in other podcasts talking about it. We should talk about like the weird kind of white douchebags getting behind the Joker in recent years. But before that, do you think he says hockey pants or pads?
He says pads.
I hear pants. And I don't want to have this whole thing where it's
I
like,
did not know that was a thing.
no, it's not, but he says pants. Or I think it's Christian Bale just can't articulate in
It
the
could be
Batman
that,
voice.
yeah.
But it's hockey pants. Because there's a T sound, not a D. And maybe, it's just the trying to articulate in that gruff voice.
And the gruff voice in an American accent.
Yeah, but there's been multiple, so I looked up, but there's been multiple arguments in multiple places over whether it's pads or pants. Now, I'm a pants person, even though hockey pants, that's not a thing. But it sounds like he's saying pants.
Weird. Yeah, I've never noticed.
So that's what John and Alex hate stuff. The Dark Knight Rises.
Where Alex hates the tiniest things, and John has not clearly watched the movie.
Well, here's the deal. I don't hate a lot of this movie yet. So I just want to get a little bits of stabs in here. And I don't even hate this scene. I find it funny that there's arguments about whether he says pads or pants.
Yeah, no, that's
because
pretty
that's a lovely universe.
Yeah, but I did like that small introduction, and they didn't do a ton with it, other than this tiny little story about this one guy of Batman. Because this whole montage is like Gotham City post Batman being around, and things are generally better, I guess. But there's still crime happening, but Batman's able to quash it some. But there are these vigilante wannabes like him that are showing up in hockey pads and pants and with guns that are trying to stop drug dealers and stuff like that. And I just thought that was a neat surprise when it happened. I'd forgotten that whole moment even happened.
Yeah.
But then they don't really do a whole lot with it.
Yeah, I mean, they kill one later for fun, but I did enjoy that. I don't think we need. There's a lot of this movie we don't need because this is a very long movie.
Yes, it is.
And I think we don't need the Scarecrow to be there.
No, I mean it's you need. I would argue that you would need him busting up a crime at the beginning, just because it's like
that's fine. But
the opening of a James Bond movie, you got to have some little action scene happen.
Yeah,
but you need that, and so they just went, let's just bring back the Scarecrow.
Yeah,
because he's still around.
It just kind of took away from the. I mean, not took away too much, but it was just there was a lot being thrown at me, and it kind of I felt like I'd be more grounded in the film if it wasn't, stereotypical Russian mafia guy. If he was fighting, oh, 22, I'm from another gang. Like if it was the Irishman that he's fighting or whatever, from The Departed. That would, like, we're just some one of the other stereotypical gangs that exist in Gotham. I mean, not to have two white guys pontificate on race, but like most of the kind of gang activity in Batman books is like really like, well, that's the black ones, that's the Puerto Rican ones, that's the Irish ones.
Well, he does do a lot of mafia stuff.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's like 1950s, like just stereotype mafia. It's not, and they don't really modern it up much. I mean, they don't point their finger at it. But if you look at like the mob room, where it's like, yep,
they got representation. Representation matters.
No,
I don't know.
I guess fair enough. Yeah, good point.
But yeah, so he and I didn't actually realize this until this watching that when Batman's attacked by the dogs in that scene, that then he goes to Lucius later and was like, I need something that can withstand dogs.
Yeah.
He's talking to Alfred when he says that. And then later at the end, he gets attacked by dogs. I was like, oh yeah, that comes full circle.
Yeah, there's another bit of foreshadowing there. He's like, well, I don't know about dogs, but it sure will be effective against a cat. That's my Lucius Fox impression.
That was good.
I think it sounded exactly like some guy.
It was pretty good. It sounded like Fred Gwynn in Pet Sematary. Some things are best left buried.
You don't want to go up that hill. Yeah, that he's like, it might be effective against a cat. Well, who shows up in the next movie?
The Riddler.
Talia al Ghul.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So Gordon meets up with Batman in the bank vault that just got heisted by the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
And
who's apparently been doing this stuff.
Yeah, he's around. Well, at the end of the last movie, there was like the little scene where he shows the Joker card shows up. And I think that's where they introduced that there's marked bills that they left behind.
Yes. Like radioactive bills.
Oh, yeah. So they found out this is a mob bank that they hit. So and this is like the 15th mob bank being hit.
Yeah, because all the money that they've marked they've been tracking has ended up here.
So it's a DA Dent shows up late into court because again, why is this guy a hero? And talks to who's that? Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Maggie
Who plays
Gyllenhaal.
Rachel,
Rachel
who
Dawes.
is his second in command. What do you call assistant DA?
Yeah, that worked.
Assistant DA. Also used to be Bruce's childhood best friend.
Yeah, Katie Holmes in the first movie.
Yes. And she's like, hey, I thought you were late. And she's like, oh, no, I know this case backwards, which is a weird thing because this movie has a problem with aphorisms
Yes.
because it also plays things close to the chest a lot, more than once. Well, I don't know if we've talked about this before. Phrase is close to the vest, not chest.
Oh, no, we haven't.
Oh, yeah, that's the phrase, and they keep doing it wrong.
Well, I think it's just updating it because no one wears vests. Well, it was in a time where no one wore vests, and then around like the 2010s to.
Have
like,
you
the
paid attention to the Gotham police force? There are vests all over the place.
No, I don't.
Bulletproof ones.
Well, that's why other people are saying it because they're saying it to not a cop. 'Cause
Oh,
that's-
yeah. No, I think you're right. I always forget about whether you're part of the constabulary, your language choice
Right.
is how this works.
Yes, it's the basis of most
The
language.
fucking gun thing in this courtroom is so goddamn stupid.
Well, it's trying to give you it's trying to pull a fast one on Batman fans because in the old timey Two-Face story, some guy snuck in with acid into the courtroom and threw it on Harvey Dent's face, and that's how he got scarred. So it was this guy's pulling something, but it's a gun, and then he heroically, very slowly disarms him. And
Yeah.
and this is just Christopher Nolan and the editing of this scene. I think it's just very like in those old kung fu movies where you can kind of really tell where they're like, and then this position, then this position, and then this position, where it felt like a practice run and like, all right, now let's really do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, and he manages to disarm him, and then his quip about like, oh, this is a Chinese gun, you should have bought American, which underlines some of the sort of issues I have with some of this movie, and it's particularly in the context of its time. And I know we were sort of ending at the end of the Bush years, and that sort of jingoistic feeling that was permeating the culture throughout a lot of that. That just felt really gross in looking back at it now.
Correct. However, that's not the part that I found annoying. I mean, that was part of it. But the fact that the gun misfires is fucking infuriating. That unless that's a plot point, like, oh, you planned this was a setup to make you look good.
Right.
A gun can't misfire. That is
Yeah.
that is the highest level of bullshit writing. And this movie has a lot of bullshit writing in it. And I'm willing to forgive it because it's a fucking Batman movie. It's
Right.
just as a bat. But that is some fucking lazy ass, we'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
And then followed by the slow foo, like slowly, and then the shit about American. And then the very quick, because I made a note. I'm glad you said it because I have at the end of that line, this scene is very badly paced.
Yeah, well, because it's very bizarre because the guy pulls a gun, the crowd is like, and then he disarms him, gives a little speech, and then the crowd's like, yay.
Well, no,
and then the judge is like, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Like, it was very...
No, what they cheered for was like, oh, I guess we should break the thing up. It's like, wait, I'm not done yet.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And then they go, yay, where it's like, he's taking down Gotham so fast, where it's like, but no, but fuck it.
He
I
was
can't even
just
put it-
attacked.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
why isn't everyone just swarming into action and, like, flying out of the courtroom if a gun got pulled? But whatever.
Take a fucking breath. Yeah, exactly. Now in the comics, after he got hit in the face with acid, did he go, you should have bought American acid. It would have
Yes, he
burned my
did.
whole face.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or did he right in the face and go, oh, this is Ace brand chemical acid. This is a quality American acid.
He did, like, I'm glad I bought stocks in this company.
Boy,
Buy
that
war bonds,
fucking
everybody.
buy American thing is. I don't know how this movie recovered from how bad that scene is.
It's pretty, yeah.
I mean, it recovers this way is that it's edited rather sprightly, so you don't really get to sit in scenes for that long to realize how dumb they are, because there's another section that's infuriating. So, this is where Gordon meets Dent, and this is another really, really bad Gary Oldman accent scene, where he's like, here we got some problems. He's like, the operations. Yeah, it's
Well, what I love about it is, and again, because it's a comic book movie, like, fine, I'm just rolling with the punches. But the DA is like, your secret task force that's full of a bunch of people that I have investigated who are clearly crummy. He's like, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to know more about it. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's not even this big tete-a-tete about it. It's like, Gordon, you're up to something. I'm going to figure something out. It's more like, hey, tell me. No. Okay.
See, I think what they were trying to do, and they did it very poorly, is get across that Gordon's doing the best he can with what he's got.
Sure.
And they put it, they literally say those, or some phrase very similar to that later in the film. But if this was set up earlier, the weary Gordon that, hey, even though Batman's here, I'm still around crooked cops, everything's corrupt but me. If they gave him a character other than guy that Batman's friends with,
Yeah.
I would be far less annoyed by his accent. But it's just, he's just this bad accented man that walks around. There's that meeting where Bruce falls asleep at the meeting. We don't need to talk about that, right?
Well-
Sorry. Mr. Reese, the kind of really, really low down accountant guy
Yeah.
that later threatens to out who Bruce Wayne is.
Yeah, he's a hero.
Now, however, did you pick up on who he was going to be or meant to be?
Yeah, Mr. Reese.
Mr. Reese.
Yeah.
Edward Enigma.
Yeah.
That was going to be the Riddler.
He certainly loves his crossword puzzles.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was some Gotham level.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on it. I didn't care about it. And then I happened to look at X-Ray on Amazon while I was going to like, Mr. Reese, mystery, that this was like, he's got all the, like, oh, no.
I think that was a fake. I mean, like, in terms of like a football player or something, like a pump fake. Like that was a misdirection because that's dumb. I mean, they would give him a reason to want to fight back against Batman, but I don't know. I also this time around really supported him because he eventually finds out that they've been funneling money to a vigilante.
Yes.
And-
The company he works for is embezzling money
Yeah.
to somebody that dresses up as a bat.
As a
and fights
bat,
crime.
and now his first reaction to blackmail. Don't know if that's the wisest, but still, hey, I salute you. Try to get your,
Yeah.
if you're like, well, you're doing illegal, just maybe I shut up about it, whatever, fine. But then the way that Lucius Fox deals with him,
Love that.
it's so crummy. He basically
I love
threatens him. Well, but it also
it's-
it really undercuts. There's a lot in this movie that undercuts the central moral, ethical judgment that this movie tries to make. Lucius Fox tries to make anyway, about what's about right and wrong. And when he threatens a guy with violence for...
See, I didn't take it as... I thought it was him
Embezzling.
laughing it off, because what a funny way to do it. It's like, so you're saying
No, it's-
the multi-billion-dollar boss of the company you do business for is embezzling money to dress up at night as a vigilante, and you're going to blackmail him? All right, good luck. That's
Yeah.
funny. Like, I like his kind of wry laughing at
it's
it.
absolutely a funny line, but if you stop to think about it, like, that is an implicit threat.
Oh, I don't know about that.
That is because he's saying, like, the guy you're claiming it dresses up like a bat to fight people. Like, it didn't seem like you don't have a leg to stand on, because he clearly does.
Yeah.
It was more like, this guy will fuck you up.
Sure, but the thing is, he is a blackmailer, which makes him a crime.
Right.
We all know criminals should be punched repeatedly about the head and neck.
Unless you're embezzling your own company, which is fine. Not a crime.
I don't know enough about law, but is that a crime?
Yeah, yes, embezzlement tends to be a crime.
No, but we're saying the word embezzlement. He owns the company.
Yeah, but your misappropriation of funds, I don't think is a great
Yeah, but
thing.
it's your company.
Yeah, but it's...
I don't know anything about companies.
Right, but like he's not paying the company to exist. They're making money from other things.
Yeah.
And he's using that money.
But he's Wayne of Wayne and I
Yeah.
feel like he's just, all that money's his anyway.
Yeah, it's not great. It's
No,
but
I'm just saying.
in any event, it's certainly ethically not good.
I mean, that Tumblr, pretty rad.
Again, yes, but
Tumbles.
It does tumble
It's
and
like,
explodes.
like a gymnast. Tumblr. I don't like the scenes where the Joker's not in them. I wish we could get to one, but he doesn't show up for so long.
He doesn't know, and a lot of this opening stuff, because particularly, it gets revealed that Batman's doing some business with this Chinese guy,
Mr. Lau.
Mr. Lau.
I made a point of trying to remember character names this time.
Oh, nice. Look at us, sounding professional.
Well, no, I did call him earlier Mr. Mayor because I can't remember his name. But yeah,
Well, baby steps. We're
I
getting
did
there.
re-
50 episodes in, we're getting there.
I've only called him Batman Well twice.
They start to establish that his company seems shady. Lucius Fox is unsure.
Oh yeah, that's what that whole meeting was
Yeah.
about. Yeah, before
And then-
Mr. Reese.
And that's when I think then you get to reveal that he's talking to the mob about their money, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and that's when the Joker shows up. Because the mob is having this meeting.
Well, first there's like it's a boring thing, but let's just because I have it in order here. It's that dumb restaurant scene where it's Harvey and Rachel. And it's like, it took me pulling all the strings in the world to try to get here in this place to have this nice dinner. And then Bruce walks in and is like, hey, what's up, fuckers? Look at my dick. My dick's awesome. This ballerina lady, she was just on my dick. Look at you. Look at your chin. I got a big dick.
I like when he walks in and he's like, oh, no, they'll push 2 tables together because I own this place. And then they're clearly just sitting at one table.
yeah.
Doesn't matter, like tiny thing, but I got
No,
a big kick out of that.
I thought of that as well, though. He does own the place. Maybe they push 2 things together, then made some of the schlubs go sit over there. Like, hey, you, go kick rocks. You're going to sit at this table. You know who this guy is? It's Big Dick Wayne.
It's a tiny table they're sitting at.
Big Dick Energy
Yes,
Wayne.
You're very excited about his penis.
No, I don't care about his penis. I love Kristen Bell's portrayal of like the fake Bruce character.
I think it's
so fun.
It was more assured this time.
Yeah.
So he was certainly like more feeling his oats that way because the first one it just seemed so, and I guess that was kind of the point, but it just was unenjoyable to watch. But watching him be just a cad, like and then later when he saves the day by crashing his Lamborghini and he's still just like aloof about everything. I thought that worked pretty well.
I like that scene. This scene was the only thing you get out of it is he uses the phrase where they're like, hey, you know, if Harvey's talking about that the Romans would elect somebody that would run the democracy in times of great need. And then the phrase, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Right.
And then a giant foam finger came out of the roof of the restaurant. It said foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And then pointed at Harvey, but only on one side of his face. And then the foam finger covered up one side of his face. And then he said the line again.
Well, they also, I mean, that whole discussion is very much that freedom versus security zeitgeist that was happening throughout the whole Bush administration.
Yeah, but I did like the Bruce's take where he's playing as an idiot. He's like, "Oh, you've won me over with this really idiotic argument," and he is like the smartest guy on at the table.
Oh yeah,
and it's just fun to see him smart, like probably dumb actor playing smart guy, playing dumb guy with money is a fun dynamic. I'm assuming Christian Bale's dumb. I don't know. Maybe he's smart.
A lot of actors are. So I don't.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if you're an actor out there, calling you an idiot.
Sorry.
Come and fucking fight me, bruv.
Yeah, moving to the mob scene. They're having this meeting with a Skyping in Lau.
Which, on a small note, I love that Joker calls him television.
Yes.
He just refers to him as television. So great.
And small cameo in this scene, and he's in one more. But I love the actor Michael Jai White, who plays Gamble, one of the leaders. He's the guy who ends up putting the bounty on Joker's head.
It has to do with the kind of gap tooth, pinstripe suit.
Yeah,
yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. I cannot recommend the movie Black Dynamite enough. He made that one, and it is hilarious. Such a great
Was he
genre.
Spawn?
He was Spawn.
Yeah, I'm sorry. No, I know that's not like what we should hold him up for, but it's like I know that name from a long time ago. Okay,
he's done better stuff since.
He couldn't have done worse.
It's true, but this whole scene is fun, and so you can't really talk about this movie without talking about Heath Ledger and his portrayal of the Joker, which the internet and awful people have sort of run through the ringer, and I was worried I was just going to be annoyed with his whole thing this time around, but I still really enjoyed it.
Yeah, he hits it out of the goddamn park.
Yeah, and it's like you said, like it's been memes to hell from obnoxious right-wing people. The sober community, I guess he's a big figure for people in recovery. Don't know, just a thing that I've read.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How is he?
I don't know. Because it's just
he drinks champagne during the
but
film.
it's not his sobriety. I'm guessing it's kind of the he accepts a higher power. He says whatever. I'm an agent of chaos. I'm just letting it happen. I'm not trying to control anything. I have no idea. I'm not in recovery.
Okay, everybody come out. We're gonna have the talk with him.
Yeah. No, and I refuse.
This is probably one of the better scenes in the movie because Heath Ledger's in it, and he's great. The magic trick, which I remember being this amazing scene. That was my favorite part of this film. Mm-hmm. And motherfucker, is that my favorite part of this film? Where his distraction technique is, do you want to see a magic trick? I can make this pencil disappear, and then slams a guy's head so hard on a table into a pencil that the pencil goes into his brain. That is the greatest bit of fucking action that's ever happened in a movie. But I think I realized the thing that acting aside, which, I mean, he's fucking incredible in this. Mm-hmm. The score is so subtle when it happens, but every time he's on screen, maybe not every time, but like there's discordant, slow violin.
Yeah.
And it's not loud, it's not slamming you over the face, but it is like, it sets you on edge a little bit.
Which is weird. It's like, yeah, Hans Zimmer, remember, used to do this a little bit versus...
Yeah, I think that's the thing, is I sort of forgot subtlety can exist in a movie like this, and the subtle, just kind of musicality, so fucking, God, that's so
well, that's why
I loved the Joker.
Well, that's why I really attribute, for right or wrong, I attribute a lot of things I like about this movie to David S. Goyer in terms of the writing, simply because Jonathan Nolan is incapable of subtlety. And I feel like a lot of his like big, heavy questions that don't work out well come from him.
But isn't David Goyer like, didn't he write like Suicide Squad or some other garbage?
He's done, he does a ton of comic book stuff. He famously said when this movie came out, it's like, I'm surprised that something I helped write is this good, basically. But the point is, I hate Jonathan Nolan. Because he did Westworld and Interstellar,
yeah.
and I think he's sucks.
Well, John, I'm someone that's just dumb enough to think they're smart, and I don't think you got Westworld.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about the bicameral mind.
Yeah, please do.
Let's just sit here for another 45 minutes and talk about how in the old times men thought gods were talking to them in their brain. Wait, let me do it in my Hopkins voice. In the old times, men were...
As a guy who's too smart for Aquaman, but too dumb for The Matrix,
yes,
I still think it's bad.
There's a scene in here that is like the Wachowskis' wet dream, where Batman is in like the nightclub beating the shit out of people, and I'm like, oh, this is. I mean, somewhere later, Wachowski's like, yes.
But I just like. Well, I also just like how so often I guess I'm thinking of the Tim Burton Batman movies that these things don't really have a time and place necessarily. This one really felt more modern. Even then, compared to Batman Begins, Batman Begins still felt like
they had proper cell phone, like touchscreen cell phones, which was it felt almost weird to see it in a movie because this does feel older than that.
Mm-hmm.
Even, it's filmed in that kind of noir way, but it's like, oh shit, yeah.
I will say before we get out of the scene, my favorite moment is not the pencil gag, but it's the way he undersells. So he confronts the mob guys and is like, hey, let's kill the Batman. Like, that's dumb. You're an idiot. He's like, I want all this money to do something. They're like, shut up, you're dumb. And then the Gamble threatens him. He's like, I put a bounty on your head. I'll kill you. He's got tons of grenades strapped to him. And so he's backing out with holding up the grenades, the pin for the grenade. And they're like, you think you can just walk out of here? And the way he just underplays going, yeah. Like, it's just, that I think is when I really fell in love with that character. That just, because it's not anything maniacal. It's just, I'm gonna...
because there's zero hesitation.
Yeah.
It is just pure competence of, of course, yes, like, sky's blue. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And small acting note, because I'm not just going to fucking jizz on his performance the whole time, but, like, the way he kicks the door open, I like the stuff he does out of sightline.
Yeah.
Like, where he shoots stuff behind him, and in there, where he's backing out and he kicks the door open, there's just a certain kind of... I don't know, elegant confidence to an actor's performance where you can know, like, that can look really bad. Like, just try, like, it's not like you and I are paragons of fucking athleticism, but try imagining walking backwards, delivering dialogue, ending on your, like, finding your mark well enough that you can just heel kick the door open and back at, like, it's not like it's John Woo, but doing that while you're actually doing, like, proper acting and doing it with confidence. It's just one of those, like, oh, this guy's, like, in this, like.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a thing you don't really think about, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I do because my brain's broken. I think about these things.
Sure. Well, so it's then after this, you get Batman going to Lucius Fox. Lucius Fox has built his new suit. Batman also has questions about how it's like, I want to jump out of a plane and then get back onto a plane without the plane landing. And so they have a discussion about Skyhook, whatever. Shows off the new suit. Then you get the scene where two guys deliver Joker to Gamble. To Michael Jai White.
Oh, yeah. Fun scene.
Yeah, and that was cool. And they're like, yeah, he's dead. But no, he's not dead. And he kills that's the first of his, you want to know how I got these scars speeches that always change. Kills the guys. Then I like this where he has his minions. And he's like, which one of you guys wants to join me? There's only spot for one. Breaks a pool cue, leaves the sharp one with them.
Yeah.
And then walks out.
Yeah, let's hear it in his voice for a second. I've been working on this. You want to know? I'm trying to do my Lucius Fox earlier. My father was a drinker.
That's good. Is that Geechee guy?
My mommy, she had a knife, and she said, "Why so serious?"
You kind of sound like Bane, actually.
I
I was merely born in the serious.
My accent was born in the darkness. My father was a drinker. My mother was an anthropomorphized knife. My father slept with my mother and then once gave fellatio and cut his cheeks. Hello, mother.
This is a very dick-centric episode.
Well, no, I was saying that his mother was an anthropomorphized knife, like literally.
That's still fine, but there's just been a lot of dick jokes.
That wasn't a dick joke. That was blowing a knife. That's very different.
Okay, fair enough. But now I hate this. I've never been a fan of this sequence, and I still hate it.
Oh, because your views on those people. Yeah.
Well, yeah, no, just the whole
John hates ballerinas.
is the whole going to China thing just feels
Oh,
like
we're
such,
there. Oh, I just
such a boondoggle.
I wanted to hate the ballerina part first.
Well, no, well that's part of his cover. Is he claimed that the cover is that his alibi is that he stole the entire. The thing is he's a billionaire. No one would care. Like no one would question where's this billionaire at right now. That's what I got to know. But he makes this
it's a
big
weird
flashy.
cover story.
It's needlessly. It's like inventing a super complicated story where you can just go like, no, I just went to the store. Like it doesn't matter. No one's gonna like, oh, someone kidnapped this guy from China. I wonder if Bruce Wayne was involved. So whatever.
Yeah.
But so they go to China to kidnap Lau because Chinese people won't. The Chinese government won't extradite.
But also, he has a boat full of ballerinas and knows he just dove off. I mean, it just. Sorry.
It doesn't.
It's really dumb. Though I do like Michael Caine being. Let me do my Michael Caine impression. Oh yes, I can be fine on this boat with all these beautiful, attractive women. I think I'll do fine, Mr. Wayne.
Some things need sunscreen. That was my Fred Gwynn as Michael.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So this is a huge protracted thing where Lucius does this cover story of meeting with the guy, meeting with Lau, and leaving his cell phone. They don't allow cell phones in the building. Leaving his cell phone there. Then tells Bruce Wayne, like, I have this device that we're leaving so that you can extrajudiciously spy on these people, break into his office, beat up a whole bunch of people, and kidnap him and take him back to America.
Yep. And that happens.
Keep in mind, I'm going to be very concerned about ethics later.
Well, okay, yes. However, this guy's like villainy McVillain, and it's only one cell phone being, used as
The same principle. It's the exact same thing. It is spying on people without their consent, and you've just
But it's
decided
spying
that
on
this
a
one's
bad guy.
sure.
Keep in mind,
He's
been arming a guy that decides judge, jury, and somewhat executioner of people. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying is that his moral quandary at the end carries no weight. Because I mean, it's not like superhero movies haven't been hypocritical before, but it makes such a point about this that it's like, yeah, you've been doing this, man. Like, what is
fair point?
But I mean, it does tie in a little bit to the end of the movie and the Joker being right, but we'll get there when we get there.
Right.
But another scene, which as I mentioned in Batman Begins and other things, where Batman fucking uses a gun.
Yeah.
Because he blows those cartridges, the time bombs on the windows, but he's firing a gun.
Yeah, and his little bike's got a gun too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, let's just get him back. The whole thing happens. It's cool looking.
They
He falls
get
on the
Lau
building,
back. Yeah.
Yada yada. So Rachel meets with Lau to try to get him a deal. And then Den's like, you know what? We can fucking get them all at once. We can get him on a Rico statue. You know what? That statue can throw this ball over those mountains over there.
Uh-huh.
He can go back in time, man. Oh, that's the Uncle Rico statue. My apologies.
Different guy.
Yeah.
What I like is they're all in court at once. Why?
Because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
That scene, as dumb as it is, I found it really
It's
funny.
so stupid. I didn't like when I remember seeing the theater and laughing at that, but just I was more laughing that he's like, I'm a great DA.
Yeah. There's also a scene where Batman Will and Dent are talking to each other, and they have that jump scare with the dead fake Batman with his hockey pants.
Yeah.
Is on a noose and slams against the window, which I hate jump scares, and two, as much planning as this movie involves, that's too much planning.
Yeah.
They had to land on that exact window to have it come on, that's shut up.
Yeah.
I just don't like jump scares, and I want to talk to people. Of our 7 listeners, if any of them make a movie, maybe I'll stop them from doing jump scares. Fucking hate
Don't
jump
do a
scares.
jump scare.
It's
I honestly forgot about it. And then when it happened, it totally
No,
got
me
me.
too. And it got me. And it's like, fuck you. I've got shit to do other than having heart attacks. Oh, and that's where they play the video of Joker talking to the fake Batman of like, why don't you say your name?
Yeah, both those videos, that one and the one later with Anthony Michael Hall, I guess, were technically directed by Heath Ledger. They just,
Yeah, he did some like kind of at home stuff.
yeah, like Christopher Nolan was around for the first one, but then when he's like, oh, I like what you did there. You can just do the second one. I don't care.
And he did a good job.
Yeah,
well
fine.
done. It's
Yeah. It looks
yeah,
creepy.
it's
and
hanging upside down. He kills a guy. Hooray!
everything you want out of a video sent to the news.
Oh yeah. And so then the big party times. The Ruth is going to throw a fundraiser for Monsieur Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent, and I like how this sequence plays out, because this you get the sense that things are in play. Judges and politicians
Juries and
are
executioners.
they're at risk, and so you're getting intercut from the party happening. Cops taking the like a judge and I forget who he's like the mayor's bodyguard or something like that. There's the deputy mayor or something. Them kind of being under police protection, and the way it starts like getting cut faster and faster and faster, and the way it all pays off, and I really like this, is Harvey Dent is talking to Rachel, and he's talking about that he wants to get married and all this stuff, and from behind Bruce Wayne comes up and like knocks him out.
Oh yeah.
And that kind of just that quick surprise, I thought that was very cool. And then you have in sequence, the woman judge being blown up in her car, and the deputy mayor, whoever that guy is, drinking scotch that's poisoned and dying. I think one of the reasons this movie was so effective, at least for me when it came out, is that when you have in the Avengers movies, Thanos evaporating half of the universe.
Hey, spoilers.
Yeah, or just whatever, just giant cosmic level things happening, the world being destroyed or something. Where the violence in this felt so personal, felt so effective, that it felt like the stakes were raised really, really high comparatively. Because those were things you can kind of grasp, but like, wait, he was able to assassinate these high-level government people. Boom, 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 boom. Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
And in the third one, they went somewhere stupid with it.
Really stupid.
Yeah.
So
but,
50 more episodes. I can't wait to talk about that one.
Yeah, but
By that point, I'm going to get an actual Heath Ledger impression and then do that as Bane.
But I was just, when I saw it the first time, I was just blown away that like, oh my God, they actually did it. Which is based on some of the Joker stories of the past. He did that. I think even in the animated series, he there's that one where the guy like he's making them all have Joker faces, but then Batman has an antidote he just sprays on them. But
Yeah, the Joker gas or whatever the hell it's
yeah.
called. It's Smilex.
yeah, but like I like that they actually
God, I'm
did
a
it.
nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sure. I think, if they were being real ballsy, they could have killed Nestor Carbonell, Mayor, or even actually killed Commissioner Gordon, because that's a dumb fucking...
Well, yeah. When later, we can get there, but
we got to get to the whole Joker invades the party thing.
right,
Yeah.
which is and then while that is all happening, Joker arrives at the party, because Joker, like Batman, just has a great support system. Because so much of this stuff is happening, like his underlings are making it happen, or the people he's paying to make it happen.
Yeah, he really is a good manager.
I'm surprised more managers haven't picked up on this, because I guess you don't see his locker room speech.
Yeah.
Of like, hey guys, let's get it. But he's getting people to kill for him. And
It'd be
die
great
for him.
if at work, like your assistant manager that you have to answer to plays a PowerPoint presentation and like, hey guys, let's sit down, let's wrap. Now this is the way that he runs things, and I want to ask you, why so serious?
There was a period of time that a company I was doing live event stuff for was constantly using scenes from 300. Yeah. Just as, I guess that the idea was, hey, even when things are looking against us, we can rise up. And then it's just a bunch of greasy, shirtless men.
The Joker invades the party. Now here's something I didn't know. That first guy he talks to, that old guy that's
Yeah.
like, you think I'm afraid of you? That's
Yeah.
like some senator
Yep.
or something.
Yeah, Patrick Leahy, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Just like, imagine being 80 and be like, I want to be in the Batman movie.
No, but this isn't his first Batman movie.
No, it's not.
Yeah, he was in one of the previous Batman movies. He was a
Yes.
voice of the Batman animated series.
Yeah.
And because he's some fucking weirdo senator that's got a Batman hard on.
Yeah. But yeah, so then the Joker grabs Rachel, tries to throw her out of a window.
Oh, well, he tells her the other Smile story.
Right.
Which this one is good, where he's like, my wife got stabbed by mafia people, so I changed to Smucker's candy. That's what I sound like. My face got so cut up, it had to be good. And so, yeah, he's like, let her go. And he's like, that's a poor choice of words you just used, young fella. And he drops her. And this is I'm fine with fucking cartoon physics, but this is fucking stupid. They dive. He slides down the roof after her. Okay, first dumb thing. You have hands Your hands are good at gripping things. Put your hands on the glass. You know your hands, if you push against glass, they it's friction.
Yes, I put them on the glass.
So slow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Go ass to ass.
Yes.
So slow down. What, Rachel? You're a fucking assistant DA. I think you understand. You should understand some aspect. You're not dumb. So whatever. That's just stupid fucking people stuff. He saves her by hugging her and then falling off the roof onto a car. How is that, even in cartoon logic, how does that possibly...
He's wearing armor.
So somehow she...
Broke her fall.
I'm totally fine with cartoon physics. I really am. I'm fine with grappling hooks. I know that doesn't work. Like, you just go, oh, that's the way it works. But you get hugging a guy in armor and then falling out a cab and then quipping moments later. I could, holy shit, that annoyed the fuck out of me.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's something I didn't notice really think about the first time, but this time around I was like, first of all, they already did the crushing car gag, but I also like the shot of the guy inside drinking the coffee and then just whoop there.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Yeah, it was like, you have a grappling hook also, but that's fine.
Let's not even get into that. I need you to be more rageful about this physics equation that they
I
fucked up.
understand your rage, but yeah, I just went, boy, that's dumb, and then I was having fun enough.
This is where the speech about some men just want to watch the world burn, which is a fun little sequence, but it brings up a lot of questions. Like, one, why isn't the whole movie about him telling stories and let's just not it should be him and Heath Ledger just acting with each other.
It's just Alfred just constantly tucking in Batman and telling him a story.
Yeah. It's dumb. This is where the big parade scene happens. Batman's rushing over. That's where the fun Lamborghini,
Nope, that's later.
Okay.
He's on a motorbike in this one.
He's on a motorcycle.
But yeah, there's a big public service memorial for the guy that died. And
Commissioner, that guy.
Yeah. It's Loeb.
All right.
Because he was the all right, no, he was the commissioner, I think. But that's a little throw to a comic book writer named Loeb. But yeah, then the Joker and some people try to assassinate the mayor there.
Oh yeah, but how does no one notice the Joker there? He just painted his face peach color.
Well, no, he didn't have makeup on.
Oh yeah, I forgot we're not. I'm thinking we're in the Joker thing where his face is white. My bad.
And the other guys in his battalion are also.
But he's still walking by people. It's like, oh, look at that guy with all the scars on his face. I mean, it's obviously him.
But I don't know that people really know what the Joker looks like.
He was on TV last night.
with painted face.
He's got big fucking scars across his cheek.
Yeah. So?
What do you mean so?
He's not wearing white makeup with black eyes and red lipstick. That's what people are seeing.
I know, but you would think he's got obvious facial scarring. There's a guy with obvious facial scarring.
I gotta call the police because I see a guy with facial scarring.
No, you
in a parade full of police.
That's what I'm saying. You are the police.
Yeah.
Somewhere you wouldn't go, hey Frank, we're trained to notice things. Look at that guy up there in the honor guard.
It's been established that the cops are no good.
Very true.
Yeah.
My mistake. Yeah. I was putting competence upon them.
They're hiding a leaf in a forest, basically.
That's some Zen Cohen shit, right?
Yeah,
there.
they're not looking. They figure it's all fine. Because who would be crazy enough? A clown. That's who.
They try to kill Batman using bullets.
Mm-hmm.
And Gordon, he's shot to death. John, I was shocked. I'm like, oh my god, they killed Gordon in this movie.
Yes.
I was like, he's dead. Like he's forever dead. He's so dead that they show Harvey Bullock giving the news to his wife and his son, who's now a different person, saying, "Hey, he's dead."
Yeah.
And Joffrey Baratheon, first of his name, not there because he's no longer the child.
Yes, much older now.
Yes, much older. No longer in the family.
So Gordon is dead and
definitely dead. Not gonna come back at all.
And then
Tim Gordon.
There's one of the evil cops, the fake cops that have been shooting at the mayor. Harvey Dent gets one.
Yes.
And then realizes that that cop is wearing a name tag that says Rachel Dawes. So he's going to get some answers and drives him somewhere to put a gun in his mouth. Like a hero.
Well, here's the problem, again, with this character. Not the putting a gun in his mouth, because he's never going to shoot him. He's got the rage coin saying, if it's heads, you keep your head.
Yeah.
So it's just a scare tactic.
Right.
But then Batman showing up, flipping out. So all of this is dumb, and I don't like it. And I'm going to give you the number one reason for that. Heath Ledger and Lucius Fox are not on the screen. And that's the only people I care about.
Yeah, no, but I kind of liked that he was just strong arming him. Because I mean, it's basically not different than anything Batman would do.
No, but he's not even he's not even threatening him, really. I mean, he's threatening him, but
you know that.
Yeah.
The criminal does not know that.
No, I know.
The same way that Batman holds criminals over the ledge.
But I thought this was supposed to be written as this is the first slip. This is the first crack in the visage that is the White Knight, Harvey Dent. That's why I thought they were trying to write it that way. But I'm like, no, there's zero chance. Yeah. There's no tail on that.
Yeah, no, he knows. I mean, it is him. You know, he's still taking a guy at gunpoint. That's still not a thing that he should be normally doing. But he's also hedging his bets and like knowing that he's not going to do that.
Yeah, I wonder if that coin was made in America.
I don't know.
Yeah,
probably not because it's not right. It has 2 heads on it.
That'd be great if it was. It flips and the coin just shatters and he gets fucking Chinese coins.
Made in Taiwan. Yeah. So then Batman shows up and is like, "Hey, this guy's crazy. Maybe don't do that to him." And then he's like, "I know what I'm going to go do." So he goes and has the Lana Wachowski scene and goes beats up people in a club and grabs Maroni.
Yeah.
Greasily played by Eric Roberts.
I love him in this.
I love him in this, and I like this moment a lot where Batman is doing the threatening him off a building. And he's like, "What? This is nothing. I'm not going to die if you drop me off of this." And he's like, "Yeah, I know." And he just breaks his ankles.
Yeah, which I love, except for like 2 days later he's standing, and that annoyed the shit out of me.
Oh yeah.
Like it's fine, it's moved, but like, come on,
He blinked and he shook his head and then he's fine.
Yeah, I forgot he made the I noise and therefore cured. Rachel and Batman talk. He's like, "Hey, I can finally be with you because I can admit to being the Batman, blah, blah, blah. I can give this shit up." And there's this great scene where Harvey Dent, in a press conference, goes, "I am the Batman."
Yes.
Now, this scene's great because... John, you want to help me out here?
No,
yeah.
so it's him because they're like, why aren't you coming down on the Batman? This is happening because of the Batman and you guys are aligning with a vigilante and you need to bring him to justice. He's like, all right, well, I'm Batman, everybody. And so they arrest him.
Hey, everybody, I'm the Batman.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, boo, I'm the Batman.
Hey, all right, friends, I'm Batman.
Yeah, look at me over here.
So they arrest him, and then they're going to take him to jail, heavily armed police escort.
Now, is this a ruse?
This is what science would call a ruse.
So all those other cops are in on it. They know he's not actually being arrested?
Sure.
Because I was trying to figure out the math. Because again, it's one of those, you can't really look too deep at the plan things where it's like, boy, he could have died a lot if this was a ruse. And also, that masked man driving the truck that doesn't say a lot while his friend gives expository video game knowledge could have easily died a lot.
Why did Gordon need to be dead for this to happen?
Oh, yeah. No, see, this I can explain. Because if he is... Wait, what do you mean we lost the audio in that part? Oh, my God, we lost the audio in that part? Oh,
it was such a cogent explanation,
That was so great. Dude, that was like 5 minutes of the best part of the show. I guess...
We can't... I mean, you couldn't possibly repeat it. It's too succinct.
That was almost like a sonnet. Anyway, yeah, so that's why he needed to be dead.
Makes sense.
Because of those things.
Yeah. So then after this, and it's a great little action scene where this semi pulls up, and a lot of it was done with miniatures. I know certain scenes were anyway. Joker shows up with his crew, starts attacking the convoy, and then Batman shows up, and this is where you get the tumbler blows up, and he ejects the Bat Pod.
Yeah.
The sweet ass little motorcycle.
Now wait. Well, that scene happens. I felt like if we live in a universe where there are angels and there are guardian angels, there's a man in that scene that is your guardian angel. There's a dude with a giant walrus mustache just leaning back and eating a hoagie, staring at the Batmobile.
How do you know that wasn't me?
It's like that is a man that stands over your shoulder and just waits for you. Just sit there. I just love that there's this heavyset dude with the walrus. He's got a hoagie in his hand, and all he's doing is staring at the Batmobile.
That is absolutely my guardian angel. Offer me no help, but just want to see what happens, and then just slowly eating a hoagie.
Yeah, and then when you get he probably tip the hoagie towards you like cheersing a glass.
Yeah. Much like in the same way that when you see someone trip on the sidewalk, they're fine. They just kind of trip. Someone, idiot. That's all this guy does.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that fucking hoagie guy. I was
my hoagie angel.
I had this moment of I wonder if that's somebody that's some kind of not stunt casting through, right, but one of those things where it's oh yeah, that's
It was like the dude that played the corrupt detective in the '89 Batman or something. The same guy that was Jet Porkins.
Oh, you mean Jack Turno Porkins?
Yes, that's exactly
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
meant. Anyway,
Battle. Yeah.
yep,
Battle of Yavin.
congratulations. But yeah, so after the scene is that Batman ends up like running down the Joker. They have that face off that's pretty neat. But yeah, so they capture the Joker. Gordon, everyone's applauding Gordon.
No,
for
Gordon's
not being
alive.
dead.
John,
yeah,
Gordon from before?
from before.
He was that guy. He was in the truck the whole time. He was quiet
Yeah.
and didn't say anything, and he had his whole face covered. And so we didn't know it was Jim Gordon.
They played I mean, other than setting up him Dent having to give a speech where people are coming down on him about cops dying, even though several cops have died. The Gordon dying thing just seems. I don't know why I needed that.
I mean, other than that excellent explanation I gave before that I couldn't
right.
possibly
Sorry,
repeat.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I've already forgotten. That's
Yeah.
that's foolish of me.
So Gordon's alive, and it's like, yay, he's alive, and he goes home, and his wife slaps the shit
Yeah.
out of him, which I like.
Which this movie kind of has an undertone of like, it's not great with women. This movie where it's just like, look, I couldn't tell my wife, she'd ruin it, and like stuff's kept from Rachel Dawes because she'd ruin it.
Yeah.
Or like she's always trying to make people do good stuff, and let's get over our clubhouse, ladies.
Well, if I may retort with something really. Oh, for real? The sound went out again? Dude, I
We
just
gotta
broke
fix this.
down the entire history of male-female relationship
Yeah.
over the course of the Western European society. Oh, gee, I can't believe
It really
went out.
contextualized a lot of things for me. I get it now.
I mean, I feel like honestly, I'm staring across from John here. I feel like I can see his eyes literally are more open.
Yes.
After what I just broke
Yeah.
down to him.
I'm
I think
weeping
I think
openly.
we just invented fifth wave feminism sitting at this table.
Man.
And then somehow we forgot.
There's no record of it.
Oh God, and I fell out of the window twice, and so now I can't remember.
Yeah.
What that speech? Oh boy, that's
It's terrible.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah. So his wife slaps him. I do like, and maybe it's just because I'm a man of a certain age. I do like him going to his son. He's like, "Daddy, did Batman save you?" And he's like, "Oh God, this time
Yeah.
I say Batman." But I did like that as like that would be such a fucking great moment as a dad.
Yeah.
Like literally, you could truthfully say, "Yeah, oh, you know that like godlike superhero that's running through town that every
Yeah.
kid thinks the coolest man ever." Yep, Toad saved him.
Did he come back from the dead and do untold psychological damage to his family? No, but guess who did? Your dad.
Yeah, but John, if I retort, his wife's name is Martha.
That's true.
So shut your mouth. I think
Well,
that's
it's
kind of
also
how it works.
that again, Detective Gordon's just absolute disdain for his wife shows up again at the end.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great. I like that subtle thing that's running through
I
it.
think that actually is purposeful. In the comics, there's a fraught relationship there. Like I think they divorce or he's single. Or
Well,
something.
I know I think in the animated series it made it seem like he was a single dad. But I know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking of The Dark Knight Returns, where there are several moments of him being wistful for his departed wife. But
No, I think
there's not really
I think he was like stepping out or something. I don't remember. I haven't read the
Yeah.
books in so long,
There's-
but I think
yeah.
I think that's canonical.
technically. So they got the Joker, and but guess what? Seems like the Joker has them. Yeah, because then he blows up the police station.
Well, I mean, you're skipping literally
Oh,
the best.
the best scene,
yeah,
right,
you know
yeah.
that one scene that's
Right.
made watching. I mean, frankly, a lot of this movie is pretty dog shit. Motherfucker, that scene is goddamn good.
Yeah,
That fat guy in the cell had a cell phone in his tummy.
such a twinkle in his eye.
Yeah, no. So the Joker interrogation scene, it's the best scene ever. But so the injury is that Dent never made it home, and he's like, "Fuck, we gotta figure that out." Gordon comes in. He's like, "I gotta talk to you." He's like, "Blah blah blah." Things don't work out. He's like, "Oh, what is this? Some kind of bad cop, good cop?" He's like, "Nothing like that." And then Batman comes in from the darkness behind and slams his head on the table. However, how fucking long had they been in a room alone together where Batman's just standing in the darkness behind him and he's chained to a table? Like that must have been an awkward length of time.
Oh yeah, but he's a ninja. He's
Also-
trained with the Shadow League. Of
Yeah,
Shadows.
but boy, is that awkward.
Yeah.
I do like, so he slams his head, and this is so fucking good. Like, he would just go, "Oh, you don't start with the head. It just makes everything else all fuzzy, and you don't
Yeah.
feel anything." And he slams his head. It's like, see? Don't feel it. Like, oh, God, he's fucking good.
But I like the idea of like the Joker just being this like Robert Durst-like character who's just sitting there belching and muttering to himself the whole time.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
well, kill them all, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Dad didn't make it home, and they figure out that
Joker interrogation.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
we did it. It's
no,
just
well, no,
great.
but I mean, like,
No, there's nothing to talk about. It's just a great scene. It happens.
no, it's a great scene, but it's him just underlining the point of like you have this code, and I don't, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna make you break this code. He's like, I'm gonna make you choose, and this is the thing that Batman also never brings up later. He's like, I'm gonna tell you where they both are because I have Harvey Dent and Rachel, not knowing Rachel's relationship to Batman, but it's an added bonus for the Joker. I'm gonna tell you where they both are. You have to choose to save one. And Batman, the cops are hearing it too, so they're like, where are you going? He's like, I'm going to go save Rachel. And it turns out that's where Harvey Dent is. Later, when, like, they're talking about Harvey's whole thing, Batman is never really like, yeah, no, it was a choice I made. Like, we could have had the cops probably come and get you, but I did. And,
Yeah.
so then that's why she died.
No, but I mean, yeah, he could have. Well, I mean, what he could have said is, I tried to save her. He told us the wrong address,
Right, yeah.
and that's why you got saved. Like, he could have been like, yeah, I know. I was hoping you would die. Like, I was going for rape. Like,
no, I don't want you to be here. Like,
well, I mean,
want
if you
to
think
be
about it,
dead.
like, thematically, that would work. Like,
yeah.
they didn't bother. But I do like it's a well written note that Joker doesn't get. He gives the right information, but
Yeah.
the wrong
yeah,
information.
he's like Yoda.
Joker talks one of the cops into fighting him, and off screen takes his keys, because I do like that you don't even need to see that. Like,
Yeah.
he's just so outmatched. Love that shit.
Well, and I like that. Again, this version of the Joker is very enigmatic in terms of nothing he says is real, but he's good at shit. And so people had this theory that he was actually like a Navy SEAL guy that got blew up in Iraq.
Well, I was going to bring that up to you at some point. What do you think about that? Because that actually does kind of read to me.
It does. I don't care. I guess is
That's-
what
I'm right there with
my
you,
thing is
yeah.
like I don't want it. I don't need an answer. I know everything I need to know about this character, and you just know that he's good at shit.
Yeah.
But I kind of like that. Yeah, he is this sort of supernatural. His plans are preternaturally intricate. But yeah, I don't know. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was the Joker.
So he beats the shit out of that guy, drags him out into the cop office with a bit of glass. He's like, I'm going to kill him. I was like, well, let him go or shoot you. He's like, I just want my phone call. Which, correct.
Yeah.
Jurisprudence. Make your fucking phone call.
Yeah.
Love it. But what he does, he calls the fat guy's tummy, who's got a bomb in him.
Yeah.
And he blows up the whole thing. It also sets off the bombs of Rachel and Harvey.
Yeah.
Because the scenes in this movie with the Joker are good. And the scenes where he's not in them aren't very watchable.
Now, I did like that bit. It is very, very like Game of Thrones style cruel, where they can communicate with each other, Rachel and Harvey Dent, in their respective
yeah.
things, and where she hears him being like, "No, what are you doing here?" and not really realizing that he's being saved at first. But then I think she figures it out.
Yeah.
And I just like how her speech gets interrupted. She's like, just there are times where, and then she just blows up.
Yes, that was nice.
I was
Yeah.
not expecting that. Again, like seeing a superhero movie at the time this came out, like I was not expecting that twist. I was expecting somehow something was going to happen to Harvey Dent to make him Two-Face, but I did not know they were gonna 86 Rachel.
No, I thought that was really well done, except for the fact, I don't know if you know this, but those gasoline canisters in there, their mom's name were Martha.
I did not know.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
But here's
that's
the,
how cruel the Joker is.
here's the thing with those. Harvey makes no fucking attempt to get his face out of that liquid.
No.
I mean, like, it's not like I've been tied to chairs often, but I do kind of understand body mechanics. He makes a point of just rubbing his face. Like,
Yeah.
he makes no effort to get that
the
shit
thing
out.
is he is probably pretty cool and refreshing. And he was like, "Oh man, that's just what I needed. Some nice cold water to splash on my face."
Yeah, little dude, actually,
Oh no, it's gasoline.
what was in this? It actually wasn't. It was aftershave, but
Oh,
also
yeah.
which is flammable.
Sure.
So yeah,
Just
but it's
bay
like,
rum
How
all up-
how,
yeah.
how refreshing is this? Oh, I smell like Grandpa.
Yeah.
Oh, Grandpa, remember the days in the summer? I'm like, oh God, half my face.
See, that's you just explained it.
my mistake. So Rachel's dead. Harvey is all fiery. So we see Dent in the hospital at some point. So I don't know, something important.
Yeah, no,
happens there,
Batman gets sad for a bit.
But he's got his coin next to his bed. Didn't Rachel have that coin?
I honestly don't recall.
Because he gives her the coin at one point, and I don't think they see each other after that. Because remember, he flips her the coin when he goes into the back of the ambulance when he's on his way to getting arrested, which has this whole sequence.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you. I
think I'm telling you right now, John.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that coin, but now he has it again, which is bullshit. Because what do they do? Sift through her remains and get the coin and go, oh, here, I'll leave it next to this burned guy's bed.
I'm more just fascinated that they kept his suit.
Yes. Also, his suit didn't burn nearly as badly as his face, which is somewhat annoying.
It's a quality material.
Yeah. So let's talk about his burned face here. Gordon shows up. It's like, oh, Gov, they say you're not taking any medicine and refusing skin grafts. That's not how medicine works.
Yeah, it does. In
No.
this economy?
It doesn't, because like obviously you are not in a fit shape to make your own medical decisions, for one. But two, they would put something on your fucking face, not just light gauze. Like I'm fine. I know it's a comic book movie. I get that you have to, but
Corrupt hospital.
just don't say the line.
No, you got
Just don't say you're refusing stuff. Just have him have gauze on his face. That's fine. But why put a fucking... That's the thing. I'm fine with stupidity, but don't go, hey, look over there with
Right.
an explanation that doesn't cover that stupidity. Just have the stupid be there. It's
Well,
fine.
yeah, if it were, something like, well, he's stable now, but he needs to have a faceectomy, and that's scheduled for Thursday.
Perfect. Whatever, just something. Not... Oh,
But this makes it seem like he's a badass that's wallowing in his pain.
But
and,
whatever. Things happen. Let's
Yeah.
get to the Joker showing back up.
right.
The
Joker shows back up.
Shows back up.
All right. So, yeah, at this point, Batman is sad. Rachel has written him a letter that he's reading about how he's the real hero. Hooray. But he's still sad. And the Joker has escaped. And I think this is where...
This is the Russian money burning.
Yeah,
thing
so this
happens
is where
around here. Yeah.
he likes to watch the world burn and burns all his money.
And they kill that awesome Russian guy who was a really fleshed out character.
Yeah, we all loved him.
He was a Russian guy. He was in the mob.
He was Chechen.
My mistake.
Yeah. Guess I liked him more than you.
I guess you did. And there goes my entire theory earlier, where it's a slightly different part of the Russian bloc.
Mr. Reese is going on a TV show to
Oh, wait. We didn't even do we didn't even talk about Ledger meeting Den.
because this hasn't happened yet.
No, it is, because we're in the hospital.
Yeah, and
right?
that's how he gets in the hospital. Because he creates this craze, calls into the show that Mr. Reese is on, and is like, "Hey,
Oh,
if you
yeah,
wanna
yeah,
kill-
yeah.
if
Oh, I
everyone
thought
wants
that- yeah.
which leads to a whole thing how the movie proves the Joker right. Calls the station or whatever, and is like, "Hey, if anyone wants to kill this guy in the next hour, here's a bunch of money, or I'm going to kill some people." That's what he says.
What he says is, if this guy's not dead, I'm going to blow up a hospital. You're totally right. I forgot that
sorry.
happened. Yeah.
Different threat, but yes,
Yeah.
he says I'm gonna blow up a hospital, and so everyone's out to get this guy. Meanwhile, everyone is the cops are evacuating the hospital.
Yeah.
And while in the craziness, the Joker shows up to chat with Harvey Dent.
What, John? What happens here? You
Well,
do
he
it.
shows
I don't-
up dressed
yeah.
like a nurse.
Well, I mean, I love that. That's
Yeah, and the Harvey Dent doesn't recognize him until he takes off the doctor's mask, which is kind of hilarious. That's when he gives his whole speech about how, like, hey man, I'm just an agent of chaos. I didn't plan anything. Those other people, they planned stuff, and then that didn't work out for him.
I'm like a dog chasing a car. I wouldn't even know what to do with it if I catch it, which is a fun line.
And then so he's like, but you gotta. Oh, also the reveal before this, Harvey Dent talking to James Gordon about, like, you guys used to call me Two-Face. Why should I hide who I am now?
Oh, I forgot about that part. Why did they call him Two-Face?
Because he was working for Internal Affairs.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
not really being two-faced.
Yeah, if you're a corrupt cops, it is. Because the thin blue line, blue lives matter. and
Yeah,
all that.
that's not true.
But he basically he convinces the Joker to, like, take revenge on the cops and the mobsters and whatever. Gordon and Batman, that they did it, not really the Joker. Joker's just he's fighting back at them. Why don't you join Team Joker?
Well, he does the coin flip. He puts a gun to his head, puts it in Harvey's hand, does a coin flip. He's like, "Why don't you kill me?" And he's like, "We'll let fate decide."
Yeah.
Which is, I don't like this scene that much, except for I really like watching Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Right.
Where it's like I'm kind of thrown because it's like also Aaron Eckhart's there doing dumb stuff with his
Yeah.
dumb face.
But then you do get the great hospital explosion scene.
Yeah.
Which so the explosion, Joker's walking away from the hospital's blowing up. There's a pause where the big explosion isn't happening, and this was already planned. There was a pause for the big explosion, but Heath Ledger's responses weren't, and so there's just that great moment of him, like, pressing the button a whole bunch of times. Was
Oh
very, very
yeah,
funny.
yeah, that is good. I like that. I love his little duck walk.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. And then it's followed up with one of the scenes of the Joker I don't like, which is rare. Him jumping on the back of the bus of all the refugees being driven away from the hospital.
I just took that to be his bus because he has a bus. I just thought it was his own school bus full of Jokery people.
Oh, so he just had his own school bus. So he just, I thought he like kidnapped all those people from, oh, no,
No.
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He already had the bus.
So he just had a fake bus that he stole, because
Yeah.
he stole Harvey Dent and he stole the 16 Candles guy and, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I guess he did steal 16 Candles guy.
Yeah, that whole,
Yeah.
he had stole a bus full of hospital people
Right.
and 16 Candles guy. What's his name?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall. You're correct.
Right. So anyway,
Later played Dexter.
different guy. So now Two-Face is getting his own revenge path thing is happening, which seems a little bloated, but whatever. And then Joker goes on television and is like, hey, I'm gonna take over Gotham. I'm gonna rule the streets, and everyone left in Gotham by night is gonna be subject to me. I'm great. So everyone kind of attempts to leave, but he's I think he said he's wired the bridges and tunnels. Yeah. So they're like, well, we can't do that. So
the ferries.
So he gets some people onto the ferries. 2 ferries remain. They put a whole bunch of prisoners on one and a whole bunch of citizens on the other. But guess what? Those have had oil, gasoline stuff magically transported onto them. Which, again, this realism thing doesn't apply to this movie at all. But it's more realistic than other comic book movies, but it's not.
Well, I'm fine with them having set up a bomb on there. I think
but it's just like so much stuff has to, like we talk about, so much stuff has to happen. So you're just like, fine, whatever. But the whole thing is that he's going to set up this thing where, what is it, like the prisoner's dilemma almost.
Yeah, the Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah,
which that's not what it is, but yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But it's, it's like, hey, I'm going to blow you guys both up at midnight, or one of you can blow up the other one. Good luck. We're going to do a social experiment, a fun YouTube prank. Meanwhile, Batman has shown Lucius that he has taken his cell phone technology, and turned it into this citywide, turned all the cell phones into basically this huge...
Yeah, echolocator kind of thing.
Yeah, to track the Joker, and Lucius is like, that's terrible, even though he's been helping Batman to operate extrajudiciously this whole time. Earlier in the movie, you see Batman on a rooftop listening to people's phone calls until he hears the Joker.
Yeah, it's different, though.
How?
No, 3 times my explanation is gone out. This is fucking insane. Yeah. It's almost like this movie doesn't have an internal logic and there's no way to defend it.
Yeah,
sorry.
Just I mean, like for that time where it was all like, security or freedom. No, I mean, it falls into that, but it does this bullshit thing of trying to pretend that like Lucius is like, no, that's terrible. You've been fine with it up to this point, and then when he's operating it later, he's fine with doing it. It's Lucius sucks.
Yeah, well, I mean, you did kind of know because he said type your name in and you can delete it or whatever. Right. So,
but it's still just like, so he doesn't have that tool, but he's still going to spy on people.
Yeah, I mean, it's problematic the whole way through.
Yeah, but I'm just saying when your whole ethical thing kind of rests on that, that's not so great.
Let's just get back to the ferry deal because I don't want to talk about it much more. This is the dumbest scene in any movie ever.
Well, we have to talk about it in the sense that...
Because Tiny Lister's there?
Yes. But just that, so Joker's whole thing is to prove that the citizens of Gotham are terrible, that we are awful people.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. He's
Correct.
Absolutely right, because all those people were going to shoot that guy earlier, and then the citizens ferry only stops because no one wants to get their hands dirty. So it's we're terrible. We just don't want to be seen to be doing anything about it. And the prisoners ferry, that only stops because Tiny Zeus Lister is all huge. And it's like, just let me do it. I'll kill everyone. And the warden's like, yeah, okay. And then he just throws the thing out the window.
Yeah.
So he just muscles him into... So,
no, it is an
the Joker is right. Like, the movie proves the Joker right again and again, and I don't think it means to.
No, and this scene, especially because this movie's super long, but this very scene and the him going to China bit, if both those weren't here, this would be a exponentially better film because it adds nothing. If anything, it takes away from.
Well, again, because it's trying to prove the point that no, people are good. They're not.
Well, the him going to China, the him going to China
should absolutely,
Well, I mean, that's just trying to prove that they want money from the Chinese audience. Is the reason they put that there. But this was that trying to prove people are inherently good is really badly done. Yeah, that's I'd go so far as to say horse shit.
But so Batman foils it all. Foils Joker. Although I did like the whole weird thing where he had clowns set up that they weren't. They were actually hostages.
They weren't the villains.
That was great to throw off the cops. So neither ship blows the other one up, and he goes to try to. Batman and him are fighting, and Joker's like, "Well, I'm going to blow the whole thing up then. Screw them." Doesn't work. Batman saves the day, captures the Joker, but the Joker's like, doesn't matter. I have got Harvey Dent. I've screwed with Harvey Dent. He's my ace in the hole, so he's going to show that someone so high up can be lowered down, and he is and does.
Yeah.
And again, this is a scene like we said. So he's got Commissioner Gordon's family held hostage, and Commissioner Gordon. Again, Commissioner Gordon hates his wife because he's like, "Let me see who you love the most. I'm going to point guns at your family."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, not my son."
Well, if his son's new, I mean, he used to
Yeah.
be Jeffrey Baratheon. So
Right. Yeah, so he's still getting to know him. Whereas his wife's like,
yeah,
I've
his wife's
seen
old
her
hat,
before.
yeah.
And then, Batman tries to talk Gordon, or tries to talk him down, and basically just says, lies to him. And it's like, no, hey, we tried. Not like, no, we wanted you to die, and so I could save my girlfriend. And then he's going to shoot him anyway. And Batman pushes him off a cliff, basically.
Yeah, loading dock.
Yeah, and kills him, and is like, we're not going to tell anyone about this.
Yeah, so that actually is the moral, is that, so Harvey, even though he fell, if you lie about him falling and saying that Batman did it.
If you if you quote unquote lie and explain what happened, that Batman actually murdered him, thus doing what the Joker said, and then also the Joker proving that humans were right. If we pretend that the Joker's not right, it's going to be better.
Well, you have to remember that this is the hero Gotham, not that he needs, but it deserves.
Right.
Also, Harvey, Dan, falling off that loading dock and dying in a movie where Rachel Dawes fell out of a fucking skyscraper.
He
onto
was
a
not
cab
wearing armor.
and was
What is hard to
harmless.
understand about this? He was not. He was wearing a suit.
Neither was she.
Yeah, but she was being held by a guy with armor. This is physics. Did you sleep during the armor lecture during physics?
I didn't get no schooling.
It's too busy reading.
The school marm used to hit me some fierce, so I went home.
But so you could argue that the characters in the movie know that they've been defeated, but I don't think that that's true. I think Batman is like, no, I'll be the bad guy heroically, rather than
think
just
that's
being
what they're
like,
going
no,
for.
we're going to agree to this lie.
No,
Yeah.
I think
It's Batman sacrificing himself. Even though
I think
he's-
this is meant to be like kind of because it's setting up what he is in the next film. Like
Right.
he's the ultimate anti-hero, the guy that can do the things that other people can't do. Where that's not what it is. He's the guy holding up a lie. Because the Joker was right. No, interesting enough, Joker didn't come back for the next film.
Yeah,
which you
weird,
would
yeah.
think that was a natural setup. Yeah.
Yeah, he won like best actor for this, which
Terrible
whatever.
movie, but I'm fine with that because he's fucking great.
He's
in this.
great. The Oscars don't mean anything, and if you want to, I mean, he died, so they're going to give it to him.
Yeah.
it's.
But even if
But
he
he's
didn't-
great. He's fine.
I think this is a really great performance.
But this movie was one of the first ones where idiots online lost their shit at any negative review. We're just screaming at critics, much in the same way they do now with Marvel movies and whatever. So Hollywood went, well, okay, we like having diehard stupid fans, and they seem to like this stupid nerd stuff, so let's make more of that. And then Marvel stuff happened. And then DC went, well, but this one was dark, so we're going to do that. And then they blew that.
so it's all their fault.
Yeah.
What do you think could have happened in part 3? Or should have happened? Because it seems like they're setting up Joker for a return.
Yeah.
And obviously, Mr. Ledger doing drugs to death got in the way.
Right. I don't know, because, I mean, I do think...
Because 3 is terrible.
3's terrible, and I did wonder when this came out, like, how are you going to raise the stakes? And they did, but I think if anything's happening in Gotham, it needs to just be Gotham. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you can't have the army involved, because then it just becomes... It's like this movie. It's not wrong for a movie to ask the comic movie to ask like sort of questions about sort of given comic book stuff. Like, boy, is Batman actually doing the right thing here? Is he, one man vigilante? Is that good? But then when you like really kind of fail to answer that doesn't do you any good.
No.
Whereas same way where it's like, well, you bring in the army. Well, what does the federal government think of Batman? If they're not involved in the rest of the movie, I'm not thinking about it. You know what I mean? But like,
Well,
they made it too big.
I know Amanda Waller's opinion on him.
That's true. Yeah.
I really want a super cut of this film. I just want it to be the Joker scenes,
I bet you can
the
find
Alfred
that.
scenes, and the parts with Lucius Fox because he's funny in this.
Mm.
That's it. The rest of the movie can go kick rocks.
Lucius Fox is a monster.
That's
movie-
fine.
This movie helped me realize that.
I like watching him on screen.
Yeah, no, Morgan Freeman's always great, but
yeah.
Lucius Fox is a goddamn monster.
I like rewatching this made me think, oh, I should go see what cutscenes there are of the Joker so I could see more of this performance. And man, it's really sad fucking Ledger's dead. Because I mean, yeah, he's young, had a kid, and that's all sad or whatever. But he took entertainment away from me, and I will never forgive that
That's
for
true. How dare he?
Oh, and we also didn't bring up the fact that he quoted Jerry Maguire, which was a funny thing.
Yes, yeah.
Which I don't know why. It's really, I found that fucking really amusing watching this many years later. All right, John.
Yes.
we're gonna have to watch a movie for the next episode.
Generally, that's true.
Oh, by the way, we didn't address it. This is our 50th episode. Congratulations.
Hooray, we did it.
Yeah, half a century. Good job. 50 is the new 40, from what I hear.
That is true.
And you know what else is the new 40? Man from New Jersey, living out his dreams when he's about 40-ish years old.
Would that chronologically be correct? Well, whatever. We should probably say what the movie is.
Yeah, we're gonna watch Hudson Hawk,
Hudson Hawk.
starring Bruce Willis, Danny Aiello,
Richard E. Grant, I believe, and Sandra Bernhard, isn't she in that?
Sandra Bernhard's in it, and then there's another female lead that's really good too, famous actress lady that I.
Danny Aiello.
No, that's a fella. Not to reinforce the gender norms, but Andy McDowell is in it.
Oh, yeah.
It is a movie. Came out in 1991. I don't want to give too much away.
Yeah.
If you haven't
Controversial. Like, at the time was a joke.
shat upon.
Yeah.
It has been kind of rethought of in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
I tend to think of it in the rethought of way. Like, I've always taken it as kind of that I was taking the piss out of a certain style of movie. I don't know if I'm going to believe that anymore. And I'm very curious to see what I come out the other side of. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's going to be, it is a loony picture.
I've never seen it, so I'm excited to be introduced to the magic that is Hudson Hawk.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to your text while watching it.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so that's it. Remember to find us, rate, review, subscribe, do anything you can help us in any way, shape, or form. And I have a Patreon if you want to support us. Alex Boland on Patreon. There's a link in the show notes. There probably won't be. I never remember doing it because no one cares.
All right, well, there you go.
Well, hey, I love you at least.
That's true.
Bye.
Bye.